Hello everyone, hello, welcome to our season 43 tier list live stream. And this time it is not a day before the season ends. It is not 2 days before the season ends. It is not the week that the season ends. It is a week and a half before this season ends. We are in the middle of the month. So we are on time. The first live stream in a year and a half where we are having a tier list at a decent time into the season. Because I think the season ends on like the 28th. So we have some time still. We are not late. In fact, this is probably the earliest we've ever been. Guys, I'm going to make 3 things clear when we start this list. Okay? Number 1, leaders are not involved. There's a lot of new people who watch this channel. I'm just trying to make this clear for everyone. Leaders are not going to be involved with this tier list. Okay? The leader stuff does not matter. 2, the cards do not matter on this tier list. There are characters on this list that if they were, had a card or 2, would be S+, would be S, would be A. Not talking about that. Cards are off the table. Cards are off the table on this video, okay? Just talking about the characters themselves, there are a few cases where I will bring up specific interactions with others and how that affects the meta. We've had 2 very, very high-profile nerfs this season, as well, as I'm sure you're all mostly aware. Chibi Godzilla and Chibi Mechagodzilla duo and Destroyah Ariake. Their nerfing changes how some characters are going to be placed on the list. Additionally, we've had some buffs this season, specifically regarding... Are you seeing my Venom wallpapers? Specifically regarding the MonsterVerse characters. Kong, Mechagodzilla, Destroyah. Or not, Kong, Mechagodzilla, and Godzilla. Destroyah was on my list. He was the next one on the list. They have gotten substantial buffs and reworks. So we have a lot of restructuring to do. And a lot of the restructuring, honestly, is because the Chibis are out. The Chibis are one of those characters that were ruling the game for a really long time, since March, and they're basically out. They're not totally out, and we'll talk about them when we get there. They're down here somewhere. But we'll start off with the classic, is the airbase. Now, the airbase, I have gotten some flack for it last month. I said airbase was D tier. Airbase has been D tier since the day 1 of the game. However, this is a specific instance that we mentioned earlier, just only a few minutes ago. That goes up a rank because of an interaction with another character. The new Gamera, 1967, fantastic. The new Gamera 1967 is fantastic. We'll get to him in a bit, but just based on how good he complements the airbase so well. You're getting the airbase is going to constantly be like pushing things out. That Gamera is going to be able to capitalize on that. He's going to be able to buff all of those choppers. It's very good. The airbase is still not low. Or still not very good on its own, I should say. With Gamera, it is C tier. I'm going to put it in C tier. It's D tier without Gamera. But I thought it was worth mentioning Gamera in the airbase review. Airbase is going to go to C tier. Also, I don't really want to order these characters in any specific way. I kind of just want to throw them in the tier list. We have 125 characters on this list. I don't want to spend time putting them, in order of best to worst. I kind of just want to put them where I think they belong, if that's okay with everybody. Anguirus isn't very, very reliable these days. I mean, he's a good early game character, a good early game tank, but however, It's not really helping out in the long run right now. He is going to go, I mean, I think he probably is a C tier character, maybe like a mid B. I don't know. I really don't think he's as good as he used to be. He's all right, but I don't know. I felt like I glazed him up a lot in the past. Anyway, you guys can give me thoughts as well on the characters as well. This is going to be a long stream if I had to guess. Listen, all of our live streams are usually super long. But I'm probably going to put him... I don't know. Maybe B. We'll keep him in B. Maybe like the bottom of B. Anguirus was at one point S tier. He used to be the best tank in the game at one point. Very briefly in May of like 2022. He was really, really good. Batra and Batra Larva next up on the list. Batra Larva is another one of those characters where I'm like, these characters had their time in the sun. They can be usable. They're not overly powerful. Batra Larva B, Batra regular. I don't even know. I don't even know if this Batra is worth putting in A anymore. I feel like if he's in A, he's at the bottom of A. He just does not have the strength to compete. I mean, the 20% boost or 25% boost, 30% boost, whatever the fuck it is now, damage is nice. But it's not like winning you a whole lot of battles. So he's going to probably go in the... He would go to the bottom of B tier, I would have to say. I don't want to order characters, but I'm going to end up ordering characters. Biollante, I still think Biollante is super good. Biollante plant form will be A. Biollante regular form is going to be S, especially because of the new water map. Having that new water map in the game raises the, utility of some of these characters. You can see Megalon's everywhere. The damage boost sticks around even less now. Exactly. Megalon is an extremely popular pick. GMK even has seen a resurgence in the meta as well because the Chibis are out. Batra is good with Super Mechagodzilla and Des, but Conquer One makes him obsolete. Yeah. Gigan Rex helps bypass Gamera shield. We're not on Gigan Rex yet. Frank the Tank, he's at the end. But Biollante, I would have probably put Biollante in the A tier maybe this season because of all the flyers that are going around right now. We're back into like kind of a pseudo flying meta. But the water map is fantastic for Biollante. I have mine at level 30. She absolutely shreds. I'm putting her in the S tier, especially now because the water map is back. Stealth Bomber is D. Stealth Bomber is garbage. Is Biollante a Spanish name? Biollante is Japanese? I don't think Biollante means anything in Spanish. Biollante. Burning Godzilla even. Burning Godzilla got a nice little boost last season. I believe I had him in the B tier last season. And I think he's fine. I think Burning Godzilla is fine. This water map is really good for him now to like help him, charge up his bar. But there's just still a lot of damage going around. There's a lot of ways to accelerate damage, and he is like on the way out. I mean, not on the way, but like he's kind of fallen off in B tier a little bit. He's not getting into A anytime soon unless there's like some kind of crazy change to him or a card that makes him just ridiculously busted. But I'm keeping him in B tier. I was using him a lot last season. I used him a little bit this season in conjunction with the new Burning Godzilla, and he's not super terrible. He's just not as good as I would like him to be. He's one of my favorite Godzillas. B tier for sure. First S tier of the video is Desghidorah. Holy shit, you guys. Desghidorah is cracked out of his mind. He said puts B and BG in testing. Burning Godzilla was right under rank. But you're always only like testing in fixed mode. I don't think Burning Godzilla is that good in ranked. Especially because in ranked now we have 8 new rentable characters to choose from, which is going to determine what happens. Like, if everything was equal, if this was a fixed tier list, Burning Godzilla would probably be higher. It's not a fixed tier list. But I think he could be better. I think he's probably in B or in the middle, or like bottom of A, I should say. Desghidorah is S+. Crazy. You in the comments, stop saying that Biollante is your wife. Yeah, Desghidorah just has its own tier. It just says you win. Desghidorah's range is fantastic. There's tons of ways to like combo him now, Dimension Tide and the new Ghidorah as well. It's fantastic. No, I'm saying that's about right. Oh, you're saying that GMK is down here. I thought you were saying GMK was higher, and that means Burning was higher. Yeah, I think they're both kind of in the same path these days. But yeah, the Desghidorah is just so good. Desghidorah is just so good. Desghidorah is really good. Range is fantastic. The damage is fantastic. Attack speed is great. Health is great. There's ton. I mean, we're not talking about cards here, but there's a ton of cards that you can give him like 45% extra health. Like it's really ridiculous. Desghidorah is an S+ character. I use him every day. He's a character that I see in every single match. Even before the Chibis were gone, I was seeing Desghidorahs very frequently. Now that the Chibis are for sure gone, Desghidorah use has just absolutely skyrocketed. It's fantastic. The Destroyers, I think, are not doing super well this season. I think the Destroyer is out. Melee, this is unacceptable. Bio gets one shot by everything and choppers in C. I don't know. My Biollante is not getting one shot by everything. On the water map, you get that 8% boost. Rainbow Mothra. Keep her alive. Psychic Gores. Chilling. It's 45% extra damage. Yeah, okay. It's something like that. It's greater than 45%? Less than 45%. I don't know. I don't do fucking math class. What the fuck? Greater than... Less than 45%. The Destroyer, classic Destroyer is on his way out. He pumps great damage. He deploys the larvas. Kiryu Hat's gonna rip him up. There's a lot of AoE. He's just he's a year 1 unit. He does not have the stats to compete. His last buff was some time ago, and he's out. He's out. Having the larvas, it doesn't matter either. The Destroyers are out. They're out. They've had their time. They're out. This Destroyer also gone. Kaput. Not necessary. Dimension Tide, S+ tier. Oh, you know what? Dimension Tide, S tier. Dimension Tide is S tier. I'm going to refrain from putting Dimension Tide in S+ tier. One, I want to cut down on the amount of S+'s that I have. That was a criticism that I've been getting. But I feel like there are a lot of really good S+ characters. However, Dimension Tide is going to have to go into S this season and not S+ because of the new Ghidorah. The new Ghidorah has Dimension Tide built into it. Dimension Tide is 4 cost and does the suck. The new Dimension Tide, or not the new Ghidorah, is so good. The Antarctic Ghidorah is so good. For 2 cost more than Dimension Tide, you get a constant Dimension Tide on the field with damage. I'm not saying that Dimension Tide is any worse than it was. Dimension Tide is still really good. It's definitely the top of S tier. It's just not in S+, because now we have Dimension Tide, but better. I think the Destroyer has 45 range on the suck, and the Dimension Tide is 60, or I'm getting the numbers mixed up maybe, but the range is slightly different. But the King Ghidorah has a body attached to the Dimension Tide, so that gives another target for your enemies, and it does damage over time. Dimension Tide just does like the 1 or 2 hits of damage and the suck. The new King Ghidorah is very good, and it's 2 cost more than Dimension Tide, and does what Dimension Tide does, but a little bit better. If you don't have the new Ghidorah, your Dimension Tide is still S+, right? Dimension Tide is still a really good card. It cannot reasonably be S+ on this list anymore, because there's a unit that does exactly what it does, but a little bit better, which makes it a little bit worse, right? It's going to be an S tier, but it's honorary S+ tier. I will say DT operates better in latency. Monster Zero suck does not work in bad connection. Listen, I run both on my team. I think both are really good, but just intrinsically, I don't think that it can be S tier when the new King Ghidorah exists. Unless they moved it down to like a 3 cost, then it would go back to S+ tier. But for 2 less than that King Ghidorah, I think I'd rather play the King Ghidorah within special circumstances. Dorats, not very good. They're bad. I don't like the Dorats. They've been not great for a while. There's a new King Ghidorah card that buffs King Ghidorah adjacent characters, and Dorats are not one of them. Sorry, Dorats. You're D tier. You're just bad. Energy base. Honestly. Energy base is like a C tier card now. You don't even need energy base anymore because of all the cards. There is the King Ghidorah that generates energy, and then the cards make that happen super quickly and for less cost. And then the other energy card that makes it so you're generating energy constantly at a 15% increase, right? You don't need energy. You don't need energy base anymore. It takes up a slot in your deck that you could be allocating to something else, and you could just use the cards to generate energy faster. I know we weren't going to talk about the cards on this list. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, you know, this character is an S+ character because with these 4 sets of cards specifically, he gets like 100% health bonus. But I feel like it would be wrong not to address the cards when they are so heavily affecting the meta, and that would be the energy cards. The energy cards are running rampant right now. There's a ton of them that do a bunch of various energy manipulation things for your leader. Energy base has become way more useless because of that. Now, you can be an energy, you know, glutton. You could be an energy glutton and also have this in conjunction with your other ones, and yeah, stay in the energy advantage, but you don't need to rely on this as much, especially because it goes down so easy to trains. You don't have to rely on this nearly as much. Honest to God. Also, there's that, the new Ghidorah card that gives you an extra energy at the beginning of the battle, so it just, the more energy cards that get added, the less this energy base is going to be used, period. Now, the new Rodan, or not new, oh my god, new Rodan, the old Rodans, I feel like the Fire Rodan regular and then the other Fire Rodan are pretty decent. The Fire Rodan himself is pretty good. I think he's probably on like the higher end of B tier. His heals are really good. His speed boost is good. The new Rodan 2019, I don't think he's worse than Rodan 2019. I think they do different things. Rodan 2019 will set everyone's speed to 17. Fire Rodan increases the speed by 30%, I believe. I don't remember exactly. I think it's 30%. So, like, if you have a character that is 21 speed, there are characters in this game with 21 speed, and then you play Rodan 2019 on them, it lowers their speed. If that's something you want to do, great. If that's not something you want to do, you use this Fire Rodan instead, and you can make them go faster, 30% faster from a 21 speed. You said higher than A or S. You know, I'll put him in A. B, it feels unfair. A is fine. The heal is good. There's a lot of characters that want heals now. It's 80% speed. Okay, even better, Rick. Thank you. That's why you're here, because you have all the actual numbers. It's 80% speed. So if you took Godzilla Earth and you give him the Rodan 2019, he'll shoot him up, right? Because he makes him 17 speed. But if you have a character that is 18 speed or higher, you don't want them to get slower usually, right? So you're going to give them Fire Rodan to increase their speed by 80%, send them up. In certain situations, he is better. He's doing healing and a percentage increase. The other Rodan is doing burning and a set speed increase. R19 and Fire Rodan are extremely interchangeable. Either you get an AoE damage support with a speed boost or a 30% max HP heal that can heal chip damage, work as distraction. Yeah, I think Fire Rodan is good. I think he's a lot better now because now you have more slots in your deck. He is a way more viable option than he was. He was usually the 8th card in the deck, you know, one that's going to get cut. Now you have extra spots for him. I think he's very good. Sandai's not very good. Sandai's just not very good. And we're going to glaze Giant Octopus and probably put him at the top of the D tier. Just because that new water map is like purpose built for Giant Octopus. I'm a big fan of Giant Octopus. Excellent. Any unit that is 10 speed or more will get more speed than with Rodan 2019 we went over in the units buffs video. I agree. I couldn't remember exactly what it was that we went over in that video, but yes, you're right. If you want a more in-depth conversation about the Fire Rodan versus Rodan 2019 situation, you can go watch Rick and I's video from last week. That goes over, it's the units, the top changes or whatever for the season. that goes over it in way more in depth instead of me trying to just do it live on the spot. What do I think of the 12-team format? I like the 12-team format. I'm having a really unlucky time with it, though. I can't find a deck that works for me. I liked being the constraints to 8 characters was really good. This 12-card deck thing is pretty good as well, and there's a lot of people who are benefiting from it. I am, unfortunately, getting my ass beat into the ground. Gigan 04, I wanna put him in the S+ tier, but I really think that Gigan 04 is not really in the S+ anymore. I think he's probably at the bottom of S, maybe the top of A, because he's getting power crept. He has not a lot of health. He's really good this season at stopping G21, who, by the way, we're about to talk about, and Jesus Christ. But I just don't think that this Gigan is super great that much anymore. I think he is S, maybe bottom of S. If the enemy has G21, he's the top of S. Regular Gigan, I also don't think is very good. Gigan 72, I've really not liked him for a really long time. I'm going to put him, back at the bottom of D. Bro, please, how to get Ultraman, Evangelion, Kamen Rider. You cannot get any of the Evangelions. You can't get the Kamen Riders. You can't get the Ultraman units anymore. G21. Now, Rick and I have a video on my channel where we extensively go over the changes to Godzilla 2021. For those of you who want a reminder, he got an increase to his HP, an increase to his attack speed. He got increased attack rate, at which the heat ray's constant damage ramps up as well. He attacks at like a... Rick, you can probably correct me on this. He has like a 2.6 attack speed, if I'm remembering correctly now. His damage ramps up way faster. And guess what? He has to reset when he gets stunned. But guess what you're not seeing anymore? The Chibis who were stunned. There is virtually no real stuns in the game right now. This season, for sure, G21 is a minimum top of the S category right now. If he's not in S, he's in S+. Okay, and we can debate where he goes, but holy shit. If you cannot stop this guy, he is going to just ruin your fucking day. He is so good. He went from last season being in like the C tier or like the bottom of B tier or whatever to S+ tier. I'm not trying to order these guys, by the way, in like any correct order. I'm just trying to place them like on the tiers. I'm doing it subconsciously. I'm moving guys around, but I'm really trying not to do that. I'm just trying to put them in the categories that I think they fit in. And G21 is in S tier for sure. He is so good. He's given me a lot of trouble this season. You know what it is? He's way more reliable now. He's not nearly as slow. There's not a lot of stuns around. It is way easier to get him to actually do what he's supposed to fucking be doing. He is phenomenal. He's rentable this season with the extended levels. You can give him the new ace feature, and you can get one pretty high pretty quickly. He is really good. He's definitely been worth the investment. I know a lot of people over the last 3 years have been putting GMATs into him in case he got a really nice buff. This is the really nice buff that you've been waiting for. I promise you. He is gross this season. You might as well smoke him while you got him, because while he's still rentable, he's going to be really good. Who knows what gets added in January or February. Maybe it makes him obsolete. Maybe it doesn't. But for right now, when this video comes live, fan-fucking-tastic. Who's next, Frank? It is Godzilla 1954. And I don't really like Godzilla 1954. I think his gimmick is fun. It's not very useful. You could make an argument that he is really good in this new energy kind of meta that we have, but he's single target. His stats are getting kind of power crept. He's also, remember, a year 1 character. He makes Godzilla's cost 2 less because, he'll die and then he'll transform into one. but it's not really that good. And the more Godzillas they add to the pool, the harder it's going to be for you to get the Godzillas that you want, unless you manipulate your deck for it. We go through this spiel every month. He's just all right. I don't know what they would need to do to change how he operates to make him better, but he's kind of just hard stuck B right now, maybe until they adjust his stats. Speaking of hard stuck garbage, C tier, boom, G89, fall from grace. At one time, S plus unit, now is a C unit. He was the OG battering ram of the game. You sent him down the lane, you protected him. If he reached the enemy leader, it was over. His time has passed. His stats have been completely power crept. He's still a gold unit, remember? And he's just ass now. It's unfortunate, but that's what it is. He sucks. And that's all I gotta say on that. Godzilla Earth. Godzilla Earth. Part of me wants to put Earth in A tier. Part of me wants to put Earth in S tier. Especially with now you can do, instead of an 8 card deck, you do 9 card. He could be the 9th card in your deck, and if you just have like 9 energy, throw him down because we're in an energy meta right now. You probably get him out a little bit more reliably. I like him a lot. He suffers a lot on the water map, but he's definitely in, I think, the S tier. He was in A. I had him in A last season. I don't think that's the case right now. I think he is definitely S tier. And like you're saying in the chat, pair him with some other units like Rodan. He's going to be very good. I'd say Earth and Destroyah are very comparable, especially with the Chibi's gone. With Destroyer or with Desghidorah, are you trying to... Why do you think, who do you think of when you think of Earth melee? Any particular players? No players in mind. No one specific. No one specific I can think of when we talk about Earth. Every Battle Line is doing a collab with the Santa Claus movie series. Giant Tim Allen will be the first character. I'm first in line. They put Giant Tim Allen in this game. I'm spending $100 easily. Girth is a worse G54 Tokyo. Only advantage is reach and piercing. I disagree. That might be Keanu Reeves. You have Ken Anu Reeves. You got some good points on Facebook. I disagree with you on this 54 talk. Destroyer perfect form. You think Destroyer perfect form and Earth are interchangeable? Are very comparable with the Chibi's gone. Yeah. I mean, even Earth didn't really suffer too much having the Chibis around. If you know, but having 2 targets made it hard for him. But now the Chibis are gone, and he's a lot better because he doesn't have to focus on that. G21 deserved to be maximum B tier because it is useless against a 2 or 3 energy unit that can stun. Well, guess how many 2 to 3 energy units are running around right now that are stunning? I'm not seeing a single one. Maybe we dress up for Santa for Christmas stream. No, I'm Jewish. No Santa stream. Maybe though, if you're nice. I'm not probably going to do a Christmas stream, though. I don't even think I'll be here for the holidays. Earth on top, Anime Trilogy on top. Anime Trilogy stay winning in Battle Line, honest to God. Where's the Zetton? What do I mean is Destroy doesn't get locked anymore. Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I was wondering what you're saying, Billy. Destroy does not get locked anymore, which makes him a little bit better, but it's Destroy's stats are keeping him down. Destroy regular has squishy health compared to Shin, who's also 1 cost less. Iconic. Do you know some kaijus can appear in Godzilla Battle Line, Varan, Tokyo? Yes, I did know that those guys can appear. A lot of them were on the what is it called? Vote polls. Naranga kind of freezes people. If you're getting stun locked to Naranga in this chat and you're watching my channel, you're getting stun locked to Naranga, brother, uninstall. Come on. What is making that sound? Ultima's peak on the ocean map? Bro, Ultima is a beater. Alright? Terrestrius on the ocean map is a little bit better. We're going to keep him in C tier. I think Terrestrius needs some work. Ultima, I think, is in the A tier. He's been in the A tier for a while. I think Ultima deserves to stay in the A tier, especially with the water map. The enemies are slower on the water map. It's going to take them a little bit more to come to him. He's still not very good compared to a lot of the other stuff. He still actually has decent stats. It's just evolving into him has become the problem. The game is not really geared towards evolving characters anymore. We don't really get too many evolution characters either anymore. And if we do, it's not with the standard methods. It's usually like an on death or some other kind of parameter. Ultimate his evolution, but he is really, 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 really strong. Really strong. Pedro, if you copy and paste that a 4th time, you're getting muted in the chat. Thank you. The slow card plus Ultima plus Burning Godzilla is so nasty. A more like S++. Use Burning Godzilla as a meat shield. Put you in timeout, buddy. Boom. Done. I lost my train of thought, but Ultima's pretty good, and the water map makes him even better. He struggles on, like, Hollow Earth. He struggles on Tokyo a little bit, but especially also on the water map, there's a lot of the ships in the water, and it can you can use them to delay his traversal up the half. He actually went with Giant Octopus on the ocean map. Oh yeah, it's the elite combo. Elite combo. Hetera, mature, and flying are also not very good. I would only really rank any of them high because the flying form is easy to evolve, but honestly, like, Hetera is just not hitting it. He does really well on Hollow Earth. What you mean? I mean, he does do well on Hollow Earth. I'm mostly talking about, like, he has to be funneled into the middle, so it makes him... I feel like he's harder to evolve into Ultima on Hollow Earth because he has to get funneled into the middle. Hetera is not very good. Hetera is bad. Hetera is a 3-star. If they gave Hetera the acid ability that Biollante has and the Final Wars Hetera has, they would be much better. Unfortunately, they do not have that ability. I wish they would give it to them. Not the case. Bad. Next would be Jet Jaguar, Flying, and Jet Jaguar Giant. The only character on this tier list that actually gets worse when it evolves is Jet Jaguar. The first form is Flying, giving a constant damage boost. That's really good. The other form does Karate Chops. He got a nice boost. Like, at some point, but it has not been enough. Also, I'm going to reiterate, I'm really trying not to put characters in order of what I think they're better than or not. I really am just trying to keep them in the spots that, like, in the zones that I think they belong in. I'm not really trying to, like, put them in the proper order. Also, my, like, chat box is, like, messed up now. Let's see if we can fix it like that. There it is. When I muted that guy, it, like, messed up the chat box. Actually, Jet Jaguar Giant not in D tier is wild. I mean, if anything, if he's in the C tier, I would put him, like, here. I don't think he's the worst. He's just okay. I mean, I wouldn't really recommend using him, but I really don't think he's in the D tier. The D tier is like a horrible spot. He's just not very good. You know who is very good? Who I like a lot is Jet Jaguar Singular Point. Jet Jaguar Singular Point kind of rules. It's unfortunate this season he's getting chopped up by everything that's fucking flying. But Jet Jaguar Singular Point, I think, is probably at the bottom of S tier. Middle of S tier, perchance. I like him a lot. The 4 immunities is really good. Give him the speed ups with the new Rodan. Give him a few other things with the cards. And he's a beater. He's really good. You put Go in D tier, and Go has uses. Okay, you know what? Does this make you feel better? That actually makes me feel a lot better. But I think he's good. I think this Jet Jaguar is really good. I think he could maybe get a little bit of extra juice, a little bit of extra health or something. But the immunity is great, especially right now in the meta. There's a lot of really big damage going around. Being able to block it is good. He doesn't hit flying. I wish they would just make him hit flying. Clearly, they're able to make guys hit flying now because they can make, you know, they made Mechagodzilla 21 hit flying. If they made this Jet Jaguar hit flying as well, he would be a crazy, crazy unit. Who's next? Oh, Garbage. No need for an explanation, really. And then these guys have kind of fallen off, like, way big time. We don't really need them to block as much shots from the ground. There's not as much rush going around. We have Shinden. We have a bunch of characters with immunities. We have Rainbow Moth. We have the Beast Glove Kong. We have this Jet Jaguar. We have the Gamera. We really don't need the Kamakuras too much anymore. Now, kids is in an interesting spot. Kids are in an interesting spot. Kids, I don't think are good. I think kids belongs in the D tier. However, there is a specific kids interaction with the new thermonuclear burning Godzilla, where the regen on the burning Godzilla, because burning Godzilla, we'll talk about him later, but he gains health passively while he's laying on the ground and a little bit after. And once he's at full health or his bar goes down, he stands up from being on the ground. If you use kids on Burning Godzilla 2019, his regen will not stop, and he briefly becomes immune. While he is immune, he charges up, and then when he comes out of kids, he's ready to go. So kids, I think, is still D tier. However, it's going to go to the top of D tier for this season, specifically because of its interaction with Burning Godzilla 2019. King Caesar. I don't think King Caesar's all that anymore. I've kind of been like politely moving him down the list for months, and I think it's just about time that he goes into like the D tier. I don't think he's very good. He has had no major adjustments in maybe like 2 years. Top of D, bottom of C, easily. Mecha King Ghidorah and regular King Ghidorah. I think that Mecha King Ghidorah is in A tier, and I think that the regular King Ghidorah is in B tier. They are still very similar. They have very similar stats. They've had some adjustments recently, although the Mecha King Ghidorah is in A just because he is better and he is stun immune. Very solid. He works extremely well with the brand new Arctic Ghidorah. The Arctic Ghidorah actually works extremely well with the other Ghidorahs, because they all the Ghidorahs do some kind of AoE. There's no Ghidorah that does single target specifically, except for, I think, the King Ghidorah 2019. I think he is single target. Other than him, there is no others. Put Ultima above Mecha King. I can't put Ultima above Mecha King Ghidorah, because Ultima, you can keep him as Terrestrius the whole game. Mecha King Ghidorah, you guaranteed to get him after the first death. That's why he's better. He's easier to evolve. Kiryu. Kiryu is B, and I don't really think I'm going to rate Kiryu Kai pretty high either. Maybe forgetting Kaiser and the Ride. Oh, shit. You know, the Ride has the AoE when he jumps in. And Kaiser Ghidorah sucks. Mostly bots are new players who speedran to Kodum rank. I'd say Ghidorah is worse than Destroyah. I'd say this is some Destroyah slander. He should be better now with the Chibi's gone. He should be better now that the Chibi's gone, but he's not. I am, what am I, in the top 500 right now? And I've seen 2 Destroyahs all season, and every single time they immediately get chopped up and then the larvas die instantly. There's no Destroyah needs some stat reworks. I know he can't be stun locked now, but he's still a single target. And it still is the 3-stage evolution. He still takes a long time to get out. He takes longer to get out than the King Ghidorah does. He doesn't have an AoE. He suffers a lot. The Chibi's being gone helps him, but he still suffers a lot to some of the other units in the game. I don't think he's as good as Mecha King Ghidorah. If anything, he's a little bit better than Burning Godzilla, but I really don't think he is. I don't think he's that good. I think Ariake is still pretty good. I don't think that this Destroyah is very good. And Kiryu is definitely fall off. He hits for a lot of damage, but he's been power crept. Destroyah became a bum. Very unfortunate. Yes. And we'll do Kiryu Kai with this Kiryu. Kiryu Kai's a little bit better because he just has better stats than this Kiryu. But I really don't like... I've never liked Kiryu Kai. I wish he was his own unit. I like regular Kiryu better. I don't like that Kiryu Kai has sometimes the single target attack. I wish it was always the AoE missile volley. When was Kiryu boosted last? Whenever they introduced Kiryu Kai. I think was the last change Kiryu's gotten. So, Kiryu's been power crept. It's really not difficult to deal with one of these guys. I mean, it's easier now because the Chibis are gone. Not a lot of people are using Kamakuras to counter the Kiryus. So you could reliably drop Kiryus and Kiryu guys down on the enemies, but really, like, come on, man. It's 2024. It's going to be 2025. We're still dropping Kiryus and Mogeras straight on the enemy leader? You got to be kidding me. We're using December 2021 strats in 2025, 4 years later? Nope. I love the buff Kong. Use them with your mech. Oh, yeah, Kong is next. We can glaze up Kong now. I freaking love the new Kong. Kong, 2021. We have, Microsoft Hub, you're not getting my perspective. Kong 2021, Rick and I went over them as well in our video talking about the units. He got an increase to his HP and attack, increased attack reach and attack speed, and changed the attack range to a forward circular attack. Holy shit. Kong is back. Everyone that says he's an A tier, I don't think he's at the bottom of A tier. I think this Kong, if you have a good enough Kong, is way higher. Kong is good for people who don't have a high level Orga. Exactly. I'd say he's either low S or top A. I am going to put Kong in S tier. Who is this? The same guy that was asking me if other stuff could appear in the game? Can I put you in timeout for longer than... You know what? You're going in timeout for 24 hours, dude. I'm sorry. You can't just spam the chat with the same question over and over and over again. I told you get banned before. Or blocked. You banned for 24 hours. Kong is getting into S tier. And he would go into, like, low S tier. This is pretty good for someone like... What do you mean by someone like me? Kong always had an AoE, but he could only hit 2 to 3 units at once. It's nice to give him a dedicated AoE circle, though. Yeah. Kong's improvements, I agree, Lane. Kong's improvements are almost exactly what he needed. He still cannot hit air, which is fine. I wish he would hit air. I wish maybe he was also one less cost. But he is now a good, reliable tank for your ground troops. We went over him in depth for like 10 minutes on a previous video. I'll link it in the description of this, I guess. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on Kong because we spent a lot of time on him already on this channel, but he's so good. Yeah, and Monster Zero, Antarctica does counter him, but his nasty. He'd be broken at 4. I wish he was at 4 because I want Kong to be broken. He's so good. The Monsterverse improvements are really leaps and bounds ahead of anything that these characters deserved to be for all these years, and it's so good. If you don't have Orga, if you don't have a unit that you're like, oh man, I have a lot of Kong pieces, but I don't have a lot of like Orga, I don't have a lot of like Beast Glove, I don't have a lot of like a character that you could be like a dedicated ground tank. He has the stats. He has the stats to be one of the best tank units in this game. The reason you're not seeing him anywhere is he's not rentable this season for whatever reason. He's the only GVK card that's not rentable right now. And also because him and G21 and Mechagodzilla have been in and out of the game so often, you don't really have a lot of people with a lot of pieces for Kong. And in the limited amount of time that the GVK pieces are even in the game, people gassed up G21 and they gassed up Mechagodzilla because Kong for a while was really bad. These changes make Kong really good. The only thing holding him back is levels. There has been like an anti-Kong leveling sentiment, for lack of a better term, for a long time now because he just hasn't been very good. This change, statistically, is a very good change. He's got a huge health buff, pretty decent attack buff. These attack reach and speed attack reach and attack speed are way better, and they changed his attack. He's all better. Monster Zero isn't rented either, but Monster Zero isn't a Godzilla vs. Kong character. But yes, Monster Zero also isn't rentable. Kong is really good. I have my Kong at 18. He hits like a fucking truck. Kong is good. The problem is levels. That's why you're not seeing a lot of them. They're not really offering a whole lot of ways to get Kong. I don't think he's meta. I don't think he's meta defining. But he's at this time probably... Anti-Kong leveling sentiment is hilarious. Thank you, I try. He is probably one of the best ground tanks that we have in the game, period, right now. End of story. End of story. He's up there with Orga right now. You know who's not up there with Orga? Margalite Cannon is garbage. The Sande base will put it like the top of D. I'm actually unsure if the Sandes get help from Gamera. I've never seen them work with Gamera. And then these ones are also pretty garbage right here. We're going to put them back like down here. These guys. Boop. Maybe you're worse than Dorats. Yeah, it's probably fine. Also garbage. Just a straight string of garbage right here, actually. Mechagodzilla probably puts you like right here. Yeah, but people have Forsaken. People have leveled up like Monster Zero. Like I've seen Monster Zeros routinely since they've been introduced. Right, Scarlet Ghidorah is in here in Hill Test. He's used it for a long time. Kong is one of those that just doesn't even matter. Sande base. It's still both the fucking garbage. I don't know. Mbob base fucking garbage. It does the same thing as a Sande. Megaguirus, also not good. Megaguirus getting their cheeks absolutely clapped this season. And like every season as well. Yeah, maybe do like that. I have a hot take for later. Speed past the trash I don't want to talk about. Oh, I'm not talking about them. Manila is trash. I'll put Manila like right here perhaps. This is bad. Wow, there's so many like just really bad units in a row. This is actually the worst unit in the game. This Mogera... this Mogera's got to go like over here. I feel like this Mogera's not very good anymore. Sure, you can get some cheap damage off on the enemies. No, I don't even know why I put him in B, C tier. Mogera, characters that just go straight for the enemy are kind of falling off. Super easy to defend against, super predictable. It's whatever. Mothras are all pretty good, though. I like all the Mothras. This one's definitely like a C tier, for sure. Mothra, whatever. Larva. Mothra Imago... I feel like Mothra Imago should be S tier, but I really feel like she's probably this season in A. There's just so much damage being thrown around at like a ridiculously high volume, and she just does not have the health to compete. Her saving grace is she's incredibly cheap, and she works extremely well with the Gamera 67, but I don't know. I want to put her in S. But I feel like she's just a little too weak. But she's really good. Outside of her health, she's pretty good. I might leave her in S tier. Because of Gamera 67, she's busted still. Yeah, you know what? I think right now she's A tier without Gamera 67. But like how we did with the airbase, if you have Gamera 67, I think she's probably in the S tier. She's a little bit fragile. Mothra Leo, though, is out. This is just like a character that's completely out of the meta, like on every cylinder. Just like Mothra Leo's out. Mothra Leo is just like fucking out. Mothra Leo used to be everywhere. They were just like a huge stat stick for a long time, and then they're just like, they're gone. They like don't even compete. They don't even compete now. They're out. I have no... Mothra Leo went from being an S tier to just something that's like... If it doesn't hit that chart... Leo fell off the moment Shinden entered the game. The moment Shinden entered the game, Leo fell off. And then we have Gamera that's giving immunes. We have Rainbow Mothra that's giving immunes. We have Beast Glove Kong. I was going to say Burning Godzilla Kong. Beast Glove Kong. You've seen Leo's lose against your Shinden in a 1v1. Mothra Leo is way too easier to counter. Leo's so bad I can beat level 30s with my level 5s because of the power creep. The damage has fallen off so hard. Leo and D. Leo sucks, man. Chibi's being gone doesn't matter. Yeah, Leo is so bad. Leo I had last season, I think, in the B tier, maybe the bottom of A. I think I'm going to put him in, like, the C tier. Like, even, man, like down here where these guys are is not very good. Deserved Leo Fallout. Bastard stayed in the meta the longest after 5 cost flyer meta was over. Also true. Naranga. Naranga is in the B tier for sure. Maybe Naranga is a little bit gassed up right now because G21 is so good, and Naranga is going to be really good at stopping it. Also, I'm looking at these cards, and I just realized what are the only 2 characters looking to the right are Gamera from the Rebirth show, and then G21 and Ultraman. Like, why run Mothra Leo when Rodans exist? Exactly, still like Naranga. I like Naranga. I want Naranga to come back into play. He never really was meta. He was always kind of just like an alternate piece. Maybe if they lowered the cost by 1, make him like a, what is he, 4 now? It could be 3 would be good. With G21 running around, Naranga's a little bit better, but otherwise Naranga doesn't really matter. Psychochorus. Psychochorus is a S tier. I had it in the A last season. I'm going to put Psychochorus at the bottom of S. Burning Godzilla is everywhere. Psychochorus is going to get that Burning Godzilla way up, way, way faster. The Burning Godzilla, it all depends on where his health bar is or his like timer bar. And Geo3 is facing us, the Eva is facing us, and then the Burning Godzilla is also facing like directly at us. Everyone else is facing left. Psychochorus has come up in use this season because of G21 inclusion, or G19, Burning Godzilla 2019 inclusion, and it being rented. It used to be a slot. It was always the eighth card in the deck. You know, that's the card that you could flex out. But now that we can have, 9 cards in a deck, an 8-card deck with also Psychochorus sometimes isn't so bad. So Psychochorus gets to go into the S tier for sure. It helps Burning Godzilla. It's going to help. There's a lot of AoE going around right now, and especially with the suck from the Monster Zero Antarctica. This helps a lot. So, S tier for sure. This Rodan is garbage. Putting him with Mechagodzilla. Ahead because he can fly. The Shins also got an adjustment. Last season they got like cheaper. Man, they're still not very good. I mean, this one like gets bonuses in water, sure, whatever. Like I don't think he's very good. This one is bad. He's just easy to evolve. And then this Shin is actually like halfway decent. This Shin I think is solid. He's gonna go into the A tier. He's good. He's especially good right now, actually, with all the flyers going around. This Shin Godzilla is actually outperforming my expectations for him, especially a very high level Shin Godzilla. There has been a lot of people who have invested highly in Shin Godzilla for one reason or another, mostly because it's the favorite Godzilla. If you have one that's like in the 20s or 30s, you're a longtime player. You've had him since he came out in 2022 or whenever he came out. He absolutely shreds all these flyers. Desghidorah, Monster. If you use your Monster Zero Antarctica and pull people into Shin Godzilla, he's just going to destroy them. He's gotten way better with his changes last season, or the season before, whatever it was, but it wasn't really actualized because we weren't in a really dense flyer meta. This season in particular is extremely flyer heavy. He excels exponentially. Shin, Mechagodzilla, or Mechagodzilla 18 and Rodan 19 is very easy push to get off because of how slow Shin is. Generally one of the strongest pushes in the game, otherwise A tier probably. He's very good. I think you can get him to work in certain scenarios that make him... I think you can make this Shin Godzilla an A tier character. We don't really have a lot of cards that facilitate him either. We have some, we don't have too much. But the air meta is back. Yeah, you're saying it, Don. Like, the air meta is so back because of all the, like, Desghidorah, Antarctica, Rainbow Mothra, the choppers with Gamera. Like, there's a lot of flyers running around. He's going to dispatch them pretty quickly. He's going to be in the mid to high A tier, personally. Space Godzilla's probably in the A tier this season. I had him in the S tier for like 2 seasons. I really don't think he is in the S tier anymore. He's probably in the A. His boosts are good on the crystals. But he can be good in, like Keanu says, Space Godzilla secretly goated this season. The crystals are a fantastic defense against G21. He just makes a huge mess on Watsumi because of the boats. I agree. I can agree with that. I feel like that he can be very good in certain scenarios. Not overall like one of the best characters. I'm going to put him in the A tier. Maybe like the middle of A tier. Maybe the lower A tier. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing him in there and see where he lands. Super X had an adjustment, what was it, was it this season or last season? It was this season. Super X had an adjustment this season, and it lowered the cost, right? That was this season? Yeah, Super X got its cost lowered to 4. I had it previously, like, in the low C tier. Super X is higher than Mothra freaking Leo, man. Super X is decent. I wish Super X, they would just revert all the Super X changes to what it originally was, and then it would be like an A tier. But it's still not very good. Space Godzilla's still good with the sauce, just gonna know how to use him just like he's always been. Yeah, I gotta put him in A tier, S tier if you're like not stupid. Super X a little bit better, but we need 3. I think they just need to revert. There's a lot of nerfs at this point. I wouldn't probably revert. I would revert the most recent Kumo nerf, but not the first one. And then I would revert like Ultraman. I would revert Super X. I would revert Manila. I would revert Ultima as well. Kong 21 leader will buff him. Yeah, Kong leader buffs the Super X really pretty good. And I don't know what else Kong leader buffs. Kong leader buffs a lot. Ultraman next. Ultraman's fallen off. I want them to redo the Ultraman nerfs. Ultraman used to be really good. He has piercing. He was one of the first units with piercing. I think only seconded to Desghidorah. He's really good. Revert Kumo, he'd be S+. It'd be so funny. Yeah, it'd be fucking hilarious. Ultraman really doesn't deserve to be as low as he is. He's a pretty solidly statted unit. But they nerfed him, and when they nerfed him, they made him a lot weaker than he should have been at that time period, and that was in 2022. Now we're in 2024, we're about to hit 2025, and the stats have all been adjusted, and they're crazy. In the list of characters that I think deserve to be completely reworked stat-wise from the ground up, it's Ultraman. He deserves some kind of adjustment the same way Kong and G21 got. Ultraman deserves it. He does not deserve to be in the C tier. He deserves to be like an A tier, S tier character. Some guy keeps using his level 30 Ultraman, keeps losing to me, and gets mad when he does it. Is it Shishimo? I think Shishimo, who's in this chat, or he was earlier, uses a level 30 Ultraman. Oh, Ultraman, please revert his nerfs. His kit's so good on paper. His kit is so fucking good on paper. He just doesn't have the stats anymore. Trains is on the same level as Mechagodzilla. You don't need it in a deck. It was always kind of, you have an 8-card deck. 7 cards if you're running trains, that's your 8th, right? But now you can, run 9, 10 cards, and trains can be in there, and no mess. Trains is good. Zetton S+, for sure. No doubts about that. Zetton is fantastic. I love Zetton. I have a Zetton figure back there. It's just absolute gas. I love him. Zetton, next time is rentable, is going to be the best. Zetton needs some kind of Kong rework, because Zetton actually is really, really bad. I don't think Zetton is the worst character in this game. I think it's just definitely not very good. I think Zetton's just not very good. I love Zetton. Excuse me, level 32 Ultraman. I'm sorry, Shishimo. I'm sorry. I love Zetton. I wish he was better. Speaking of things that are bad, Mephilas is also not very good. Zetton was really good for that one season that I used him. I got that Zetton high up in my levels, and I used him, and he was a beater on defense, but literally the season after, they introduced something that completely negated him. He's super fun. If Zetton had more damage and could just move forward very slowly, I think it'd be really good. Who did I just place? Mephilas. Mephilas needs a cost reduction. Mephilas needs to be like a 3 cost. He does too little for 6. It's been like that the whole time. It's not good. Final Wars Godzilla. I don't know. Y'all might crucify me for this one. I think Final Wars Godzilla is not in the A tier anymore. I think he's falling off. I think he's power crept by the new Final Wars Godzilla. He is, stat-wise, he's kind of getting power crept. I mean, he's kind of in the same boat as, like, Ultima and GMK. He's fallen off, though. I don't think this Final Wars is very good anymore. If you have levels in him, he still can be pretty decent. I'm not seeing a lot of success with him when people are running him. Godzilla 4 is worth than burning Godzilla, definitely. I don't think he's very good. Evangelion, also I don't think is very good. And I put a lot of GMATs into her. My Ava 01 is like a level 20 or something like that. Like, she's good. Or, like, I want her to be good. She's probably somewhere, like, here. Like, near Ultraman. I am an Ava 01 Glazer. I love Ava 01. I think she's great. I think she's a ton of fun. She staggers too much. She needs to have some kind of adjustment to her. I don't know what it needs to be at this point. And, people don't... I saw a tier list on Reddit where they didn't even rank They didn't even rank the Eva units or any of the collab units because they're not obtainable anymore, which is fair, but like they're still in the game. People still can use them. It's just unfortunate that they're not very good. All the Shin Japanese hero units are super entirely so fun to use, but they suck. And they all have honestly, all of the Shin Japanese hero units have really good kits on paper, but like stat-wise, they just cannot compete, and they need a stat adjustment. This fourth Angel, I think, is probably like maybe here in the B tier now. Like, he went from being something that's super... I mean, he's still like... I don't know. Maybe I want to put him in the bottom of A. You're not seeing adjustments until they come back. I know I'm not seeing adjustments until they come back. I know. Maybe saying they need something done, like I didn't post buffs for all the Avas yesterday. Bro, I don't read. I would not have read any of that. But fourth Angel has fallen off. He's still... I mean, fourth Angel still has really good stats. There's so much range going around and immunities that explosion doesn't matter anymore. Fourth Angel is S tier as long as there's a unit in the meta that pulls the units to your team. Fourth Angel works really well with the new Monster Zero, right? Because Monster Zero can remove immunities, and then this guy can blow up and does what he needs to do. I like him. I think in certain situations, he's probably mid A tier. General play use, he's in B tier. Oh god, I don't know what the fuck that was. I think I was choking or was gonna burp. I don't even know what that was. I just like... But, you also can't get pieces for him anymore, man. And his stats are gonna start getting power crept as well. He's a 2022 unit. He's on his way out, guys. I'm sorry. He's going down. Mechagodzilla 2021, though. We're about to glaze the shit out of this robot. He got a buff this season, too. He got increased HP, adjusted attack motion, attack range, etc. Added aerial as a target, and stun resistance. Holy mother of fucking god. He is also an absolute fucking demon this season. An absolute demon this season. He is so fucking crazy, and he's rentable. And I'm seeing people not use him, and they're using him and they're not using him right. He is freaking crazy, man. You cannot stun him anymore. His only reason I'm not putting him in S+ is because he still has to get super close to attack, mostly. They did adjust his range so close. Mine is level 21 with the Ren, and then with Ace, I can make him 24 or 25, and he hits like a fucking truck. He hits like a fucking truck. They're so good. I mean, him and Kong, I think, are on like similar levels of like how good they are this season. They're so good. I want to put them together. My mic is tweaking. How do I sound now? Oh, sounds good on my end. Now, maybe I had that chipmunk thing. Either way, now my mic is fixed. They're both really good. They're very, very good. Sure, the damage is crazy good, but mine gets shredded. Don't know what to say to you. Mine is really good. He's not getting super shredded. He's the one that's doing the shredding. God, he's so quiet. Oh, what about now? It was fine before. Everyone was saying that there's an issue with my mic. What about now? It keeps cutting in and out. Mic is cutting in and out. Told you they was fucking with you. Told you, man, that Mechagodzilla 21 was good. Look, I have my mic on the thing. Properties. Testing the audio, and it all sounds good on my end. So, I don't know how to help you. He's so easy to kill. Audio issues. I don't have any audio issues. Not on my end. But people are saying that they have audio issues, so maybe we address that. But everyone seems, it seems fine. Mine is fine. It's coming good on mine, so I'm going to just keep rolling with it. I got people saying that it's fine. It's fine on my end. I'm going to just keep going. GMK. This might be a YouTube issue. I think it might also be a YouTube issue. Maybe a latency issue. GMK is I want to put him down here in the B tier, but I almost feel like he's somewhere here this season, like kind of towards the top. He is he's 6 cost, which is fine. It's the you refresh and it's working. Okay, cool. He's performing extremely well with Monster Zero Antarctica, right? He's not getting stun locked as much anymore because the Chibis are gone. He has a lot more room to breathe, and he's super good on the water map because, you know, there's a lot of Biollantes running around, and he can just remove the Biollante shit. He needs help. He does, like you said, Maltos says, GMK is an old unit, but he can't stand for himself anymore. He needs Mog to help him. He is probably in the top of B. He still is very strong. He's still a very strong character, but he does need assistance going forward. I'm going to put him in B. He's kind of on the same level for me as Burning Godzilla and Final Wars. Those three like kind of go hand in hand with me, and I think they're all kind of on equal footing right there. This angel, the fourth angel, I don't know. I think the fourth angel's kind of fallen off too, you guys. I think the fourth angel's like right around here. Can't get pieces for them anymore. Their stats are kind of getting power crapped. There's burn immune. It's not really like a whole lot of right there. Are they burn immune? What are they? Explosion immune? There's explosions going around, but it's on death explosions. The most prominent explosion right now is not an on death explosion. It's an intro explosion, and it's Godzilla -1. Fourth angel's fallen off. He's not very good. He's probably, and he's a little bit weaker than the other one. I probably might even put him like back here. This one is D tier. I love Mari. I need her to get a rework immediately because she's one of my favorite units in the game. I love snipers. I love sniping, and she's really good at it. That's 10th Angel, and that one's for the Joss, my bad. I'm actually stupid. Who did I just place? Bomb, Suicide, Ray, Ayaname. Fallen off as well. Pretty hardcore fall off. She's great. I like Ray. I like her kit. It was fun when she was first added, but now she just does not have the stats. The 70% shield that she gives herself is cool. It's not super useful anymore because now we can just give defense ups to each other and immunities to each other, and her explosion doesn't matter anymore. So, negated by Rainbow Mothra. It's unfortunate. It's just how it is. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. This unit was never good. I really don't like Ava 02 or Beast Mode. I'd put Ava 02 like here and Beast Mode like here. Like literally like at the bottom of everything. Not very good. I don't like them. They are too complicated. With Jabroni, you said, I have a deck of them at all 30 plus, and you play for fun, and they barely won you a match. Yeah. They are cool. They can be fun. All of their stats have been power crapped. They've just had a terrible go of it ever since they were added. It sucks because they're some of the most, arguably, some of the most iconic characters in this fucking game aren't even Godzilla characters. They're some of them, and they're absolute ass. If they ever buff Evo 2, I would be playing them because I love the Beast Mode. I mean, I love the Sniper. If I buffed her, I would be so happy. The Evo is worse than the pre-Evo. I'm putting this Evo in here because it's like, it takes long to evolve into this one. This one is a little bit tricky. Kamen Rider, though, and Kumo Augment, I like Kamen Rider. I think Kamen Rider's, I don't know. I want to put Kamen Rider at the top of C tier. Their stats are just not... Their stats are just not holding up. And then Kumo Augment as well is, like, by proxy, like, pretty good again because the Ava, or not Ava's, the Chibis are out. So, like, we're really kind of starved for stunners. And I really want Kamen Rider to be really good. I just don't think he has the health. I mean, for 4, he's still pretty good. I mean, maybe Kamen Rider is like in here somewhere. I think maybe I'll just leave him in B tier. You think Ultima should be B or C tier? I think if anything, Ultima is B tier. He's in A tier this season because he excels on the water map. And that's a new map. It helps him out. He excels on the water map. So Ultima is probably the character that's like barely hanging on and clinging into A tier for his life right now. I love Kamen Rider. I wish Kamen Rider was better. Ultima, I think, is on his way out of A. I'm just kind of placing things in the zones. I'm not trying to order them in any particular way. I think Ultima is an A tier character in the new water map. I don't think he's a B tier character. If he is, he's the very top of B. A is just for shutting down 70% of flyers. Who are you talking about? Single target is sort of behind right now. Yeah, but his range is ridiculous, and that's what's good. You can boost him up a ton also with a lot of the cards. Ultima is very good. I've continuously used Ultima all the time. He's good. He's not as good. On most maps, he's B. On the water map, he's A. And I'm going to put him in A because of the water map. Ultima biased. I'm a little Ultima biased, but I'm getting confirmation bias, at least from chat. So if that's the one thing so far on the list that is the criticized is Ultima being in A, then I'm fine with that. Where were we on? Talking about Kamen being at least A for shutting down most flyers. Got it. Yeah, but now he's just getting sucked in. And then he's going to get got by Desghidorah that has so much more range than him. This new Mechagodzilla had the adjustments, and Mechagodzilla is pretty good as well. Mechagodzilla is easily like a, I kind of want to put Mechagodzilla in the S tier. I don't know exactly where I would put Mechagodzilla these days in the S tier. It's pretty good. Jaden, refresh your thing. My mic is not broken. Look. Project, properties, testing. It's all right. Refresh your thing. Watch. Refresh your YouTube if you have audio issues. Boom. Done. 74 is pretty good. I don't think he is S plus tier. I think he's probably at the bottom of S or like the top of A. His adjustments have been really nice, but I really don't think he's not really being super outstanding in his field. I have fought quite a lot of them this season. I have fought a lot of these Mechagodzillas this season, and I have not once been like, he's the best. I think he's pretty good. I don't know if I would put him in S+. If he is, I think he's at the bottom of S+, so we can make that argument later. It's deserved trust. I hate you. Chibi Godzilla solo is still really good, such a good support unit, like, unironically. I like the Chibi support. I'm going to put him at, like, the bottom of B. I think this Chibi is fun. I think he's good. I think he's especially good for new players. I think new players are going to be able to get a lot of pieces for him fairly easily, and they're going to level him up. He is halfway decent. He just needs a little bit of time on the field. There's plenty of ways to do that now. I like him. A lot of cards as a second side effect are like buff 1 cost, buff 3 cost, buff 2 cost. So there's a lot of cards that just inadvertently also give him a little bit of a boost. He's good. He's really good for beginners. He's in B because he's cheap. He's easy to deploy. He's pretty solid for the cost and good for beginners. King Ghidorah 2019. Good. Not great. I like this King Ghidorah. Single target's not super great. There's a lot of cards that can make him like an absolute fucking unit. He's probably the top of B. If not, he's in A. He's good by himself. He could be a lot better, and he can be a lot better. he's fighting for this. He's in B. He's fighting for this spot, like in the top. I think A tier is right for Mechagodzilla 74. His buff season was great, but quickly got crapped. I agree, Jabroni. I agree. I think he's here. I don't think that he's... I don't know. I don't think he's A tier. I really don't. I think he's probably the top of the B tier. I don't think he's top A tier. I know you have a lot of high praise from Scarlet, but I don't think he's very good. I think you really need to support him. He's a little expensive. You can like kind of manipulate your energy to be easier. And I fought a lot of these Ghidorahs this season that are real beaters. But the other Ghidorah is one cost less and is way better. The other Monster Zero, so he's gonna get put in the... He's like the top of the B tier for sure, at least. And then A tier, easy A tier. And if I remember correctly, she's rentable this season. Is Mothra 2019. Mothra 2019 is fantastic. Super great unit. Long range, stun immunity. When she dies, she refunds you 2 energy. She's great. I really like this Mothra. I think A tier is probably correct for her. This season, you could probably make an argument for S tier. She's effectively a 4-cost unit. Monster Zero all is 2 cost. There's 2 cost, right? This one's not 78 or whatever, so... Ghidorah 19 has A tier moments with support, but alone he gets bullied. But his support ability is helpful. The cards give him a great buff, but he still needs a lot of help. B+. Isn't the other Monster Zero 2 cost less? 2 costs less. I'm not looking at the game right now to let you know the cost. I'm trying to remember it all off the top of my head. There's 125 characters on this. But I like this Mothra a lot. I like him a lot, or her a lot. She's gonna get the top of A tier. Could make an argument this season for S tier because she's rentable. But I'm gonna leave her in the A tier. I think A tier is probably safe. Ghidorah 19 is very good support. Should be bottom A, but I can accept top of B. Mothra 19 is good because it helps G21. I mean, you don't even need the stun support anymore. The stun support on her, and also this Ghidorah stun immune, probably was put there to get around Kumo Augment. Now with Kumo Augment's gone, and the Chibi duo gone, there's not a whole lot of stuns going around. So stun immunity is kind of just like extra. This guy also I don't think is very good. What's his name? Kaiser? Kaiser's probably like down here. I don't think Kaiser's very good, and I don't think that the other one, the little version of him, is very good either. He's probably like down here. My level 32 Kaiser cooks A tier. Yeah, your Kaiser is A tier. I don't really think Kaiser is all that good in general use play. I mean, I might literally just put him at the top of C tier and leave the other one in B tier because he's pretty decent for his cost and then he's easy to evolve. But then this Kaiser is C tier. I mean, he barely sees any play, and even when he does, he's just getting rinsed by literally everything else. I don't care about what the 1v1s are. How good is he on the team for his cost? What's he doing to support the team? And it's not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot. He's suffering. He's drowning. Godzilla 1999 had some like pretty decent buffs recently that made them slightly better. I don't think they're very good. I think that they are easy to use. I don't think that Godzilla 1999 is very strong or very solid. I think the burn ability that he has is pretty decent. I also just realized my chat wasn't working correctly either. I'm having issues a lot with the chat bot today. Haley doesn't care about 1v1s, but it puts Monster Zero in B tier. Well, because Monster Zero is not helpful. B tier. But I'm talking about the what's his name? Kaiser for the 1v1s because his whole thing is he heals off the kills, but even still, like I still don't think he's that good. But G99 is halfway decent at least right now. I'm not like super amused with him. I mean, I really just don't like G99 in general. I really don't like the Godzilla 2000 designs at all. Proto Nation, thank you for the subscription. Every little bit counts, and I appreciate you. Thank you. I don't like G99. I just simply don't. But I can recognize that he's at least like halfway decent, so he's going to go into the C tier. Holy fucking shit, you guys. Are we going to talk about S plus or what? Boom. Megalon S plus unit. 3 cost, AoE, heal denial, and attack down. Megalon is really fucking good. Megalon is really, really, really good. I love Megalon. Big funny beetle that bunny hops his way across the map. He's phenomenal. He's a great addition with Monster Zero Antarctica, or if you're using Dimension Tide, anything with an AoE, and you're trying to capitalize on AoEs, Megalon is great. Super cheap, super highly effective in every scenario. He doesn't have a whole lot of health or damage, so he goes down really quickly, but that's not the point. He's really cheap. He's great debuff. How does S tier have more units than A tier? Some units are just really good. Some units are not very good. He's really good for 3 cost. He's really, really good for 3 cost. Gamera, rebirth form. Gamera rebirth form's A tier, I would say. He's pretty solid. I'll put him like right by Shin. He's absolutely just wrecking flyers right now. Like he's just chewing them up, spitting them out. I like him a lot. There's a lot of high-powered ones that are around. Not a whole lot are being used. You can put him as like your 9th or 10th card in a deck. He's good. I like this Gamera. He, as long as flyers are going to be a problem, this Gamera specifically is going to be good. He's very good this season. Could be sneaky good with flying meta right now. That's what I'm saying. I have seen 2 Gameras this season that have genuinely given me trouble because my deck has a lot of flyers. Gamera Reaver sucks against flyers. His whole thing is anti-flyers. He's very good. He's very good against the flyers. I like him a lot. He's going to stay in the A tier for sure. Because he hits them and he slowly walks to them. Yeah, he's going to hit them and then you have your rest of your team capitalize on the flyers. Don't have him 1v1 flyers like Desghidorah because he's still going to get hit. You got to have him like be supported by a team. But he's really good anti-flyer. Gamera 23 needs a rework because he needs more range and is too slow to get back and shoot Des, who has more range. Get him on a team with some other characters, your Desghidorah or whatever. He can be good to stall, but he's not S tier for that. He's A reason because of that. Gauss, I like Gauss. I had them in the S tier last season. This season, I'm not. They have just dropped. I mean, Gauss have just dropped in usage, and it's because of this fucking Antarctic Ghidorah. I'm gonna put Gauss like in the A tier now this season. Next season, when this Ghidorah is not rentable anymore and everyone goes back to having low levels on him, Gauss probably will go back to the S tier. This season, they're probably in the A tier. I'm seeing a few of them. They're good. I don't want to put them lower than that. I'm going to maybe put them in like B, like right here, just because this season, the Monster Zero ult is just absolutely fucking them over. Last season, they were really good, right? With Gamera, with Rainbow Mothra, extremely good. I would even put them in A only because of Gamera this season. Maybe like down here. But because of the Monster Zero ult, it's just too much for the Gauss to handle. Next month, perhaps things are playing out differently. This season, that is just not the case. Rainbow Mothra, S tier. Rainbow Mothra is so good. I mean, maybe A tier or S plus tier, or S or S plus tier. I can't decide. Rainbow Mothra is just so good. I use Rainbow Mothra every single day. Getting the being able to give that heal to every unit in the game, regardless of cost, is phenomenal. Giving this to Burning Godzilla while he's on the ground. You play Burning Godzilla on like one of the tiles that the closest possible tiles to you. You place Rainbow Mothra in the furthest possible tile from you. He'll hit the Burning Godzilla. It's fantastic. Will counter the Kiryu ult, like you just said in chat. It will counter most things that attack you because it does a rainbow negation. Rainbow Mothra is fantastic. I love Rainbow Mothra. I use them all the time. Giving the immunity to the Gigan Miles is a fucking nightmare to deal with. that reason, he's going to go into the S plus tier. I really like him. I just say S, Rodan 19, kind of choose up Rainbow Mothra for now. Rainbow is S plus tier, definitely. It's so versatile to be used. Yeah, Rainbow Mothra is fantastic. I like Rainbow Mothra a lot. Wakasa Bay Godzilla. Wakasa Bay Godzilla is pretty good these days still. I don't really think he's like at the top of the game anymore. Just a better leader overall. I would wager that Wakasa Bay Godzilla probably is floating around somewhere in the A tier. Middle of A tier, perchance. He's good. I like him a lot more as a leader than as a unit. He has a lot of utility. I'm not the biggest fan of him. I think he's just alright right now. Super Mechagodzilla as well. I want to put Super Mechagodzilla like somewhere here in like the top of A tier somewhere. Or top of S tier. Not quite an S plus tier. In the top of S. Very good with the new King Ghidorah alt. Very good with like Burning Godzilla. Keeps guys slow. Lets Burning Godzilla walk up to them. He's pretty good. I think that I don't want to say he's kind of fallen off, but he doesn't really do enough damage these days. He's really good support, but we have a lot of characters that are really good support. He is good. I'm gonna put him in the S tier. I don't know if maybe as high in the S tier, but I definitely think he's S tier. I don't think he's any lower than that. SMG is one of the best supports, best opportunity. Yeah, I think he's just a little, maybe not a little too slow, but I just don't think he's strong enough to really crack into the S plus tier these days, especially with the Chibi's gone. Who's next? Alternate Tokyo 54. I think alternate Tokyo 54 is not horrible. I think alternate 54 is halfway decent. I would put him in like the top of A right now. I don't think he has the chops to really go into the S plus tier. He's definitely top of A. He has really good stats. He has a pretty decent AoE. He's completely immune to shit like the undeath explosions, the stuns, the slows, and all that jazz, the burning. But he just doesn't, I think, crack into S tier because he's not really providing a whole lot for your team. It's more of a solo act. And this game is about your team compositions. And if I'm going to pick a character that's a solo act, like Desghidorah, I'm going to make sure that they're just, like, absolutely fucking busted. Malto says in chat, if this guy got more range, he'd probably be S tier. Yeah. I agree. It's just not the case at this current time. Shinden. Shinden is a unit that I don't know. I think Shinden is good. I think Shinden is not as good as it was. Shinden's probably like somewhere with Gauss right now in the A tier. Shinden was really good at distracting a lot of units, but right now with the suck and the range on a lot of guys and the burns and the immunities, Shinden is having a rough go of it. I don't think that Shinden is, out of the meta. I think if you need to if you wanted to put Shinden in your deck right now, you probably could. It's like the 9th or 10th card in the deck. It's still a really good card. I don't think that it is S tier. I think it's probably in the A tier in the right hands. It's definitely an S plus for sure. The retargeting is phenomenal. You know what? I'll put Shinden in the S tier only because it's only 2 cost, right? It's only 2 cost. It's kind of in the same boat as Psychicores and Trains where it's really cheap. You have so many extra slots in your deck now. You could throw this in. It's really inconsequential. It's just like an extra tool in your arsenal. That's kind of where I land with these guys. Shinden is a 90%, but will randomly become S++ tier for like 15 seconds. Yeah, I am 100% with you. Here's who's an S+, though, this season. Bam. -1 back in the S plus, baby. Back in the S plus. First of all, the water map is a -1 theme map. It's Operation Watsumi from the movie. It's a -1 themed map. It's all fucking water. The whole center of the map is a fucking death trap. My -1 is level 30 in the A slot. He just immediately deletes anything he touches. It's fantastic. The new King Ghidorah that pulls guys in, that's fantastic. Blow him up with -1, it's fantastic. They place the G21, you know, or not G21, the Godzilla 2019 in the water on Tokyo and London and New York and Watsumi. Done. Instantly. One of the best fucking characters in the game, bar none. -1 is probably always going to be one of the... -1 is probably going to always be at least S tier because of the water maps. Exactly. -1 is perfect for nuking units, especially when you have Ghidorah 2019 on your team. Dude, he's so good. He's so fucking good. He looks great. He constantly regens his shit as soon as he pops 2 for a while. When has -1 left the S tier? I'll tell you, never. He has never left S or S. He's never gone below S. He's always been S plus, except 1 or 2 seasons where we put him in S. He has not gone below. As long as water is available, he has pretty good stats. Until we start getting him power crept, that's going to be the problem. All water associated units got at least +1 to their rating due to the new maps. I agree 100%. Speaking of units that got a increase to their rating because of the new maps, and you might disagree with me with this, but he's actually not in increase in rating. He's still pretty good, and that is Ginza, Godzilla. Holy shit. The water map just makes it way more difficult for your opponent to reach this guy. I have seen a few of these that is just like... I've lost matches this season where it's just fucking impossible to reach the other Ginza because they are on the other side of the water, and you got to get the boats out of the way. They have a -1 in the water. They have a G21. They have Gigan Rex. They have all this shit, and they're just hardcore protecting their Ginza. It takes your opponents way longer to get to Ginza now than it ever has before, especially on the water maps, okay? If there was an argument for him to be A tier he probably would have been A tier this season, honest to God, except the water map was added, +1 to his rank. He stays in the S tier. Goat. Ginza's fun, but he costs too much, and he has very little health. Also, we got bio leaders and Aqua Mothra. Yeah. Any other map of the water one, he's kind of struggling still. Also, Hollow Earth map is a Ginza hotspot. Yep, -1 or Hollow Earth is great because you can just pincer them or keep them stuck in the middle. Do you have to be wary of Monster Alt when using Ginza, since Monster Alt makes Ginza easier to target? Exactly. Melee when the all I want for Christmas is you cover coming. Dude, all I want for Christmas is Ginza, baby, is -1. Kiryu hat, I think, is pretty good. I'd probably put Kiryu hat in the S tier. Just an absolute beater for 7 costs and higher. New Burning Godzilla 7 cost. That triggers him. Desghidorah is being used everywhere. I don't think he's S plus tier. I think he's still in the S tier for sure. He's very good. I don't think that he is like extremely impactful, but as long as there are strong S tier or strong 7+ cost characters in the S and S plus tiers, he'll probably always remain in S, at least until his stats get power crept. Orga is another A tier character. He's an S tier. He's an S tier tank. His buff last season really has helped him just big time. I have a whole video on that with 99 Orga on this channel, so you can go watch that. Go subscribe to him. He's great. Orga is just an absolute beater. I want to put Mogera in the S plus tier. I think Mogera is still S plus. I don't think that Mogera is anything less than that. However, there's not a whole lot of really low cost units being thrown around very often. Maybe Mogera is A tier or low S. He's still, I mean, he's very good in the Gamera decks, but he's really not being used too often. He is, I don't know, He's one of the best support units. Why is Shin an A tier, Kiryu? You gotta go back and watch it. Mogera 94 is good because of the God. Mogera is S+. She can survive so long. I mean, yeah, it's like that. Shin like S this season. I think Shin is A this season unless you're like smart, then it's S. What's this guy? The Fukuoka Space Godzilla I think is also pretty solid. I've been kind of glazing Fukuoka for a really long time. I think Fukuoka's probably A tier right now. He doesn't really put out a whole lot of damage. He has a decent AoE with the chain lightning, but only hits 3 targets. It doesn't hit as many as, you know, you could fit in a circle like most other AoEs. I think this is fine. Gets better on the water maps because he goes slower. He can generate more crystals. This is probably right. I feel like probably an A tier somewhere. 1000-Year Dragon Ghidorah as well. I think 1000-Year Dragon is A tier. I don't know. I don't know if I want to put him in S tier. I think it's too easy to jump 1000-Year Dragon. He could be S. I don't think he's S+. I think 1000-Year is probably, I don't know, S tier maybe. I don't know if he's S+. I could agree with like this. It's probably fine. Right? 1000-Year Dragon is kind of fallen off since G20 can now beat it in 1v1s. Yeah, it's something like this. It's got to be something like this. 1000-Year Dragon S+. The 1000-Year Dragon I faced a few times and he gets wrecked when there is more than one unit. Bane of my existence all season easily takes out Evo and Burning. I haven't really had any problems with him. I use Gigan Rex habitually, and he just melts 1000-Year like it's his fucking job. I can put him in S+. If the majority chat thinks he's S+, we can do that. I think I can actually put a poll up. I'll do, watch, TYD, S+, S, A, start poll. What the fuck is this insane clown music we're listening to? So S is winning at 60% of the vote. But not S+. S+ is 33%, A is 5%, S is 65%. With 20 votes. There's 73 people in chat. We have 20 votes, and most people are voting 64% for S. So we will keep him at the top of S for now. Going forward, I'm G-banning TYD due to being bullied by them all season. That's fair. Biollante Wakasa Bay. I think this is an easy A tier character. I think that they're just very strong all around. They need a few levels on them. I think overall the acid is good. The down flying state is good. Wakasa Bay Biollante, pretty solid. Is kind of just getting hamstringed this season by some of the bigger units. You know, -1 just blows them up. The G21 melts them. Desghidorah hits them from kind of far. They can chop through the Mogera. I am going to put them at the top of the A tier. I don't think... I don't know. I don't think that they're S tier. I mean, shit. I might actually do this. Move Ginza down to A tier. I feel like if Ginza is in A tier, it's more fair what Kasabe Biollante is there. This looks better to me, I think. Who's next? Oh, okay, cool. The 2 units that got nerfed, Destroyah Dab and the Chibis. They are next. Destroyah Dab got lowered attack power and decreased range, and then the Chibis got lowered HP of Chibi, Mechagodzilla, and Godzilla, And then Chibi Mechagodzilla attack speed has been slowed. I think that the Ariake is like at the top of A tier. I think that Ariake Destroyah is still really good. It was never about his damage that he was doing. It's about putting that debuff on. Because that debuff is fantastic. And using him correctly means you're always placing that debuff. He's just now weaker. It's whatever. I still want to put the Chibis in S tier. I still want to put them like in S tier. I still think that they're extremely good. Oh, hold on, let me do this. I still think that the Chibis are very, very good. There you go. I think that looks better, right? Can we see everything? I still think the Chibis are still are in S tier. They're not S plus. They're in the bottom of S tier. They just still do so much. They still do so much. They still heal each other. They still do the compel. They still stun. I mean, they're definitely a lot worse than they were, but they're not horrible, especially if you put a lot of levels into them. They're still really, really, really good. Like the Chibis are still solid. I'm going to put them in S tier, and if they're not in the S tier, then they're right here at like the top of A. They're either at the bottom of S or they're at the top of A. Both Dab and Chibis, and no one gets above them because they're still really, really solid. Aqua Mothra, A tier. A tier all the way. I'm a big fan of Aqua Mothra. I like them a lot. I use them every single egg mode that comes through. I use Aqua Mothra. They're fantastic. I feel like with some levels, I really could get a lot of use out of them. Mine is only level 5. I wish I had more pieces for them. I don't. They're a character that I wish I could just jump to level 30 immediately, is Aqua Mothra. I like them a lot. Their attack speed is great. The 300% boost or whatever the fuck they get in water that makes them super fast, that's great. The energy regen is great. The only thing I don't like is that they're slowly killing themselves the whole match. But they're pretty cheap, and they refund me energy, so I can probably just drop them again. And with the cards that manipulate energy, it's really not a problem. Really, really good on the new Operation Watsumi map as well. So A tier for them. The Godzillas that I don't like, 2002, 2003, I just really don't like them. I don't like their designs. I don't like how they play. I hate them. I want them to be deleted from the game forever. I do not like them. I'm sure someone here like Garrick Mock Goji is going to glaze the shit out of them in my comments section, so shoutouts to you. I don't like them. I've always found that the rush units are pretty, one-trick pony, unreliable. Even Mothra Leo, even when they were just a stat stick beater, not very good. I really don't even think that they go in the B tier. I mean, the evolved one does, this one with the scar, but the littler one, is gotta go into, the C tier. I don't think they're good. I don't know what I would do to improve them, but the 2002, 2003 Gojis are not good. Are not good at all. S tier, though. S tier alert. Beast Glove Kong. Really fucking good. Slacking this season because of the flyer meta. However, Beast Glove Kong fucking rules. As long as there's ground units for him to jump on or something with a low flying state, he's just going to beat the shit out of them. He's fucking rules. I love Beast Glove Kong. Fantastic unit. I put a bunch of G materials into them this summer. Goated ass unit. I like Beast Glove Kong a lot. They rule. Fuck yeah. I love all the big monkeys in this game. They're so good. I got another beater for you guys. Godzilla Evolved 2024. That's gotta be an S plus unit. The both of them, S plus, I mean, Evolved I think is S plus for sure. Kong is suffering this season. Kong's not S plus this season because of the flyers. This Godzilla Evolved is just fucking so good. So fucking good. He's so good. He just gets stronger. He's got the AoEs. He's kind of fast. He's got a giant fucking search range. All he does is just run straight at the fucking enemies and just beats the shit out of them. Fantastic. I love both Kong Beast Glove and Godzilla Evolved. I like Beast Glove Kong more. I find Beast Glove Kong to be more reliable. However, because of the amount of fucking flyers that's going around, Beast Glove Kong is not S+. Godzilla Evolved is S+, 110%, okay? Scar King, also S+, or S. Scar King is S. Scar King is not S+ this season. I think there is just way too many things that are a massive danger to Scar King for him to be towing them in straight into your fucking backline. Burning Godzilla 2019 is most definitely one of those things. He is purpose-built to be a counter to the Chibis. His entire kit revolves around countering the Chibis just about. There's not a lot of characters that he is making use of his passive abilities with. Especially with the Chibis gone. However, the stun is still good. The chain is still good. He's still S. He was previously S+. He's going to go down because he's just a little less effective. And Jabroni says even the Rex hurts Scar. Yep, the Gigan Rex hurts him big time. He's going to be S. That's where I'm at with that. And then A tier is Shimo. I think that Shimo probably deserves to be in the S tier. They're just suffering from success right now, right? Shimo is 5, slow. It's doing the freezing. There's the too much AoEs. There's too much range. She will shoot one target and she focuses on the other, and she's going back and forth and back and forth, and it's too much. I like Shimo. I think she's probably A tier this season, at least. At least A tier this season. Gamera, alternate form. I would probably put Gamera alternate form also in the A side this season. He's pretty good. Him paired with the Rodan is pretty good. When the two of them fight, it's like kind of crazy. What is this scary fucking spooky ass Halloween music that we're listening to? It's called Wanted. Skipping that. Warm music. Excellent. Shimo, I think, needs the range extended. I see you guys are in the chat talking about Shimo's abilities. Shimo's range needs to be extended. Gamera alt I like. I don't quite think that they're S tier anymore. I think they're probably top of A. The damage reduction when they attack is really strong. I like that a lot. But, I don't know. They're just not, it's just not hitting the same these days. Just too easy to deal with. Gyren, though, I think Gyren is just an S tier character, man. I think Gyren is just that guy. It's 3 costs. He removes debuffs. He's got decent range. You got the fun little jump attack. I mean, for 3 costs, he's just the extra unit in your deck, you know? Throw him as your 9th or 10th unit in the deck. This music reminds me of tutorial videos. I also don't like it. But it's in my royalty-free. Youth Energy Mix is what this song is. That was the end of the playlist. Okay, well, let's go back to the beginning. Amazing pop. Gyren is definitely an S. For sure. Unit. No doubt. Gyren is S. Really good all around. Ride Ghidorah is next. Yeah, the units that are meant to counter their Chibis are losing their purpose. 110%. It's always the case. Something like that happens. Like you have it with Kuma, units that are built to counter Kumo. It's happening now with units that are built to counter the Chibis. The Ride Ghidorah is probably somewhere in the A tier, if I had to wager. I think the attack is strong. I don't even know if I want him in the A tier. I might put him in the B tier. I mean, his attack is strong. I don't really remember all of his other abilities. Maybe if you had him at a higher level, he would be good. I don't think he's as good as the Ride Godzilla, which I think is definitely A tier because of the 200% boost. That's pretty much exclusively why you would use him. They're still pretty new, like Vitravade is saying, and time will tell if they're going to be any good, but off the rip, the Ride Godzilla is extremely good because he can give that 200% critical hit, and he's just going to juice up any unit once. I mean, put him with a big push, you know, like with I've seen people use him with Gamera, 67 to like give all of the like little dudes to that critical hit, and it's like really insane. Next unit here, we're gonna do this. Add a row below this row. We're gonna edit it. We're gonna make it gray, and it's gonna be called garbage. No, it's gonna be called garbage in all caps. You guys can't see it. Garbage. And we're going to put this guy right there. Boom. Godzilla Tower. It's fucking dog shit. Actually the worst unit in the game. Godzilla Towers are just atrocious on every level. It's an affront to God and humanity and everything that I find holy and virtuous. I fucking hate Godzilla Tower so much. I was so excited for Godzilla Tower. I thought it'd be so funny. I thought it'd be so fucking funny to have Godzilla Tower in this game. And boy, did that monkey's paw. I hate this unit. It just needs to be deleted from the game. It's terrible. They need to rework it. Make it a cross map. Maybe be usable. Literally space cockroach tier. S plus unit. Ding 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 ding. Mechagodzilla animes. That's a crazy unit. Mechagodzilla anime is really, really, really strong. Not Michelle Obama's top B. Godzilla Towers S plus. Testing. Yeah, I punched like the shit out of my mic, and now it's like super echoey. Let me just like try to lower my audio, and maybe that'll be better. Hopefully that works. I hit the shit out of the microphone. I always do that shit. Mechagodzilla anime is S tier, S plus tier, like for sure. Once he crosses to the other side of the map, it's just an absolute clusterfuck. He's just gonna run through your shit. Yeah, I know my mic is now buns. Because I hit it. I don't know. That just is what it is. That's how we're just gonna have to end it with the mic being just dog shit. Void Ghidorah, I'm gonna put in the A tier, like high A tier for Void Ghidorah. Void Ghidorah is super useful at shutting down pushes. I've had a few of them that are just canceling my pushes left and right, and it's so annoying. But you can get around them with Psychochorus. The Rainbow Mothra kind of helps. The Gamera attack kind of helps. But those two anime units are good. Anime Ghidorah, definitely A tier. Kind of hard to use. With the energy regen stuff, you have a better shot of using them now than you did before. And Mechagodzilla anime, now that you have an additional way to rush him across the map, it's absolutely phenomenal. Suffers a little bit on the water map because of the slow, but if you can get him across the other side, he's so good, especially paired with the new Ghidorah. The new Ghidorah also is not very good. Ghidorah 2004. I'd probably put them maybe in like the A tier. I've seen a few high-leveled ones that just go absolutely stupid. I like them. I don't think overall that they're going to be super impactful. I think the poison is fun. I think hitting for that additional bonus damage on a poisoned enemy or whatever the fuck it does is fun. I don't really think that it's very impactful to the meta at all. Gotengo, I think you can make an argument for being like a little bit more impactful than most other units in the game. I've seen level 30 plus Gotengos just go absolutely fucking crazy. once they hit the reach the enemy leader, they just rinse them. They just take them for everything they're worth. The counter attacks are not very supposed to make the counter attacks extremely weak, but they are. That just is how it is. The counter attacks from the Gotengo are not particularly good, but if you can get it to reach the enemy leader, it's just going to shred them. I would prefer it if it was a 6 cost unit. The 7 is a little bit too much. I'm going to put it in the low B tier. The Final Wars Godzilla alternate form is really fucking good too. I'm going to put him in the S, just somewhere in the S tier. He is a bitch to deal with. Gigan Rex is phenomenal at dealing with him, however, because this Godzilla gets more powerful when your opponent puts more units on the field, right? And so Gigan Rex is actually 3 units in one. Makes this Godzilla a little bit worse, in my opinion. However, he just gets out of control so fast. He has the damage boost, he gets the range boost, he gets the stun resistance. If you don't take care of him early on, he is going to just be a demon, an absolute demon across the board. This is one guy that you see him on the field, you take him out immediately. Gigan Rex is that, or not Gigan Rex. This Final Wars is really good. It's really good. Showa Gamera. Showa Gamera is easily an S tier character. I ranked him low last season. I put him in S. He's definitely an S plus character. He supports so many units, and he makes pushes so insufferable. He has similar and or better stats, I don't even remember what it is, to Desghidorah. And he's like, what, a 5 cost? He is good. This new Gamera is good. Stat-wise, he is good. Ability-wise, he is good. Any unit that can get the boost from the Gamera, he basically takes them up a whole nother level, because he can repeatedly put the attack nullifications on them. I'm losing my train of thought here. He's the only unit that can repeatedly put multiple times in one life the attack nullifications. I don't think he's the number 1 pick, because he only really works super well in decks that are designed around him and for him. He's definitely the top of S+. I'm not trying to order anyone in a particular way, especially in the S+ tier. It's usually S+ tiers up to your discretion. These are just really good characters to have. I think when you plan around a Gamera 67, he is one of the best units in the game, if not the best unit in the game. I think, however, you do not need him to succeed in your deck unless you are specifically building around that Gamera. Complete opposite end of the spectrum, though. This fucking Gauss is just garbage on like every level. I mean, I'm not gonna put him in the garbage tier. I'll put him in like the top of D tier, but this Gauss is not good. He kills himself on the daytime maps, and he gives you 1 energy back. But on the nighttime maps, he gets a damage boost, which is good, but like his stats are terrible. There's really nothing I find appealing about this Gauss on every level. I think he's horrible, and I don't think anyone should ever use this Gauss ever. I have a video that is like, I don't know, 20 minutes long, dedicated to me just fucking shitting on him. I do not like this Gauss at all. Gigan Rex is S plus tier. Gigan Rex is S plus tier. That's a no doubt. That's a no doubt in my mind that Gigan Rex is S plus tier. Gigan Rex is 3 for 1, 6 cost. You get the 2 miles, and you get the Rex, and then every 15 seconds, Rex puts like another miles on the field. So fucking good. It is so good. I love Gigan Rex. I'm using them constantly. This is a meta unit. All the S plus characters are meta units right now. I would say with the exception of maybe the anime Godzilla, because not a lot of people are using him, but if you got him, man, he's really fucking good. I like Gigan Rex a lot. You say Gigan Rex ain't all that. I am just melting people with Gigan Rex. My Gigan Rex is level 21 right now. He's rentable this season as well. And he just rinses pretty much everything they touch. They're so good. They're a very good support unit. Not a very good unit to start pushes. Very good unit to end them, though. And once they get to the enemy leader, it's over. You said -1 is good against them. Cool. I always put my Rainbow Mothra on them. So, they're fantastic. I like Gigan Rex. I like Gigan Miles. I think that they're S+ tier, for sure. The new units. The brand new units. The brand new units. I'll give you a hint. They're all really fucking good. They're all really fucking good. Rodan 2019. Is at least S tier. First of all, his burn does more burn damage than everyone else's burn damage in the game. His burn is 100 damage, and it's what, 100 for 5 seconds, 8 seconds? I don't even remember. I think all of them are S+ except for Burning Godzilla 19. I think one of them is S+. I think the other two are in the S. And they're high S. The new Rodan is good. New Fire Rodan is good. The speed boost he gives is good. It's very interchangeable with Fire Rodan. But this Rodan sets the base speed to 17. We've talked about him a lot in this video. We've talked about him a lot on the channel this month. His attack speed is good. He's really good at turning units around and messing up their attack patterns, like my -1 after that first explosion. If this Rodan is on him, he's just going to go like boop, 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 all over the place, and it like spins -1 in a circle, and he just can't even do anything. Rodan will always be S as long as there's always powerful slow units in the game. Pretty much. Rodan makes Earth way faster. He makes everything way faster for the most part. You can get away with sometimes Fire Rodan making them more faster. But Fire Rodan is pretty much always going to be viable as long as there are really good slow units in the game. He is S tier. I don't think he's the top S tier. I'm just throwing him in S tier. I think he's definitely S tier for sure. Monster Zero Antarctica, I think, is S+ tier. I think Antarctic Ghidorah is S+ tier for sure. He is dimension tied with a body attached and additional damage. Easily S+ tier. There's no doubt about it. There is no doubt in my mind that this Ghidorah is S+ tier. Super versatile. Works on any team that you can compose that has any kind of AoE. It's a dimension tide that for 6 is just always on the fucking board. His stats, like health and attack, are not super great, but you're not really using him for that. You're using him to pull people into a -1, into a Desghidorah, into Gamera 67, into the Mechagodzilla anime, into Godzilla Earth. You're using him to pull people in. He's really good. He's really, really good. I'm putting him in the S tier, probably the bottom S tier, maybe the top of A tier. I want to put Godzilla at the top of S, but I feel like this season for sure, Godzilla is probably in S+ tier. Being able to pull people into him with Ghidorah, the Dimension Tide, is fantastic. The only downside is when he's 7 costs, he hits the field, and it takes him a little while to get up. You can cut that short with Psychic Chorus. You can give him protection with Rainbow Mothra. The explosion is really, really good. I don't find anime or Antarctic Awakening Monster Zero that annoying, but I find him just the sweet spot for stats plus ability, making a very balanced but great unit. I agree. Monster Zero A, S+, Thermo S+, Rodan S. I think Godzilla is my favorite of the season. He's a ton of fun. I'm having just particularly really bad luck using him. I do think he's really good. Psychic Chorus, throw that on Thermo. He's going to pop up super quickly. Rainbow Mothra. Please never make another tier list again. You made me lose my train of thought. But this is the list. This is what I think this season. Next season, maybe Burning gets decreased. Probably Ghidorah gets decreased. Rodan maybe a little bit. They're all rentable. But he's so good. I haven't seen one person using the new Ghidorah well. It's always a free kill. I'm kind of in a good spot with the new Ghidorah, using it to like pull guys into -1 and Desghidorah, but mine doesn't have the levels on it, so he goes down really easily. It's his health that is the biggest problem for me. But Thermo is fantastic. I really do like Thermo, and I wanted to put him in S tier, but I think a lot of you guys made very compelling arguments for S+. And I have a lot of fun with him. I mean, he's easy to take down if you can jump him really early, like -1, blow him up, Gigan Rex, get him before he spawns in. But if he stands up on his 2 legs and he gets the regen, man, he is hard to fucking stop. And then once he gets to your side of the board, it is just lights out. I mean, it is a rough spot to be in if you just get him up. I like Thermo Godzilla a lot. This is the list. So take it in. How'd I do on this one, do you think? How'd we do on this one, do you think? I think it's pretty alright. Most of the other S tier can slot in any deck. Thermo needs a deck focused entirely. I don't think Thermo needs a deck entirely focused around him. My deck is just high-powered cards, not focused on Thermo, except for Psychic Chorus. And even that's more versatile. And I just kind of throw... If I have a good push going, I just kind of throw Thermo down behind them. And if they get through my push, then they have to deal with Thermo and whatever else comes next. This is my list. This is what I think. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you're watching this on a VOD, I know everyone's here in the live stream. 2 out of 10, S+ is the only acceptable one. That's fair. This one's torture. Guys, please, please, I'm trying my hardest, please. Alright. Let me know what you guys think. I'm tired. I gotta walk my dog. And brother, I got Marvel Rivals to play. So that is it, guys. I will try to remember to post this into the Discord. If I don't, oh well. I'm going to try to remember that, though. That's what I got for you today. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.